Shalom, brothers and sisters. Alright. Yeah, it's going to get interesting right about now. The Pseudo, Targum-Jonathan, chapter 3. Now, the serpent was more skilled in evil than all the beasts of the field which Yahuwah Elohim had made. And he said to the woman, it is true that Yahuwah Elohim said, you shall not eat of any... Is it true that Yahuwah Elohim said, you shall not eat of any tree of the garden? And the woman said to the serpent, we are allowed to eat of the fruit of the other trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree in the middle of the garden, Yahuwah said, you shall not eat of it, and you shall not touch it, lest you die. At that moment, the serpent spoke slander against his creator and said to the woman, you shall not die. But every craftsman hates his fellow craftsman. For it is manifest before Yahuwah that on the day of which you eat of it, you shall be like the great angels who are able to distinguish good from evil. And the woman saw Samael, the angel of death, and was afraid. She knew that the tree was good to eat, that it was a cure for the light of the eyes, and that the tree was desirable as a source of wisdom. And she took of its fruit and ate, and she also gave to her husband, who was with her, and he ate. Then the eyes of both of them were enlightened, and they knew that they were naked, because they were stripped of the clothing of fingernails. Wow. So their bodies were like a shell, like a fingernail that you could see through it. That's interesting. Alright. In which they had been created, and they saw their shame, and they sewed fig leaves for themselves, and they made girdles for themselves. They heard the voice of the Memra of Yahuwah Elohim strolling in the garden at the decline of the day, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from before Yahuwah Elohim in the midst of the trees in the garden. And Yahuwah Elohim called to Adam and said to him, is not the whole world which I created manifest before me, the darkness as well as the light? How then do you imagine in your heart that you can hide yourself from before me? Do I not see the place where you are hiding? And where are the commandments that I commanded you? He said, I heard the voice of your Memra in the garden and was afraid, for I was naked, because I neglected the commandment you gave me, and I hid myself for shame. He said, who told you that you were naked? Perhaps you have eaten of the fruit of the tree from which I commanded you not to eat. And Adam said, the woman you put beside me, she gave me of the fruit of the tree, and I ate. Yahuwah Elohim said to the woman, what is this you have done? And the woman said, the serpent lured me with his cleverness and led me astray in his wickedness, and I ate. Then Yahuwah Elohim brought the three of them to judgment. And he said to the serpent, because you have done this, cursed are you above all cattle and above all beasts of the field. Upon your belly you shall go about, and your feet shall be cut off, and you will cast off. I'm sorry. And you will cast off. Wow. And this servant, oh man, cleverness. I'm sorry, I apologize. And I said to the servant, because you have done this, cursed are you above all cattle, and above all beasts of the field. Upon your belly you shall go about, and your feet shall be cut off, and you shall cast off your skin once every 7 years. And the poison of death will be in your mouth, and you shall eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, between the offspring of your children and the offspring of her children. Dude, that right there is amazing. And when the children of the woman keep the commandments of the law, they will take aim and strike you on your head. But when they forsake the commandments of the law, you will take aim and wound them on their heels. For them, however, there will be a remedy, but for you there will be no remedy. And they are to make peace in the end, in the days of the King Messiah. To the woman he said, I will greatly multiply your afflictions in the blood of virginity, and in your pregnancy. In pain you shall bear children, yet your desire shall be for your husband. He shall rule over you both. For righteousness and for sin. Okay, to Adam he said, because you listened to the word of your wife and ate of the fruit of the tree concerning which I commanded you, saying, you shall not eat of it. Cursed be the earth, because it did not show you your guilt. Wow. But by toil you shall eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns and thistles you shall sprout and produce. Because of you, and you shall eat the plants that are upon Shalom, the surface of the field. Adam answered and said, I beseech by the mercy before you, O Yahuwah, let me not be reckoned, because you before you as a cattle, that I should eat the grass of the surface of the field. I will arise and labor with the labor of my hands, and I will eat of the food of the earth. And thus let there be a distinction before you between the children of man and of the offspring of cattle. By the labor of your hands you shall eat food until you return to the dust from which you were created. Because dust you are, and to dust you will return. But from the dust you are destined to arise, to render an account and a reckoning of all you have done on the earth of great judgment. On the great judgment. Adam named his wife Eve because she was the mother of all human beings. And Yahuwah Elohim made garments of glory for Adam and for his wife from the skin which the serpent had cast off, to be worn on the skin of their flesh, instead of their garments of fingernails, of which they had been stripped. And he clothed them And Yahuwah Elohim said to the angels who ministered before him, Behold, Adam was alone on the earth, as I am alone in the heavens on high from him. There will arise those who will know how to distinguish between good and evil. If he had kept the commandments which I commanded him, he would have lived and endured like the tree of life forever. But now, since he has not observed what I commanded him, let us decree against him, and let us banish him from the Garden of Eden, before he puts forth his hand and takes also of the fruit of the tree of life. For behold, if he eats of it, he will live and endure forever. And Yahuwah Elohim drove him out of the Garden of Eden, and he went and settled on Mount Moriah to till the soil from which he had been created. And he drove Adam out of the place where from the beginning he had caused the glory of his Shekinah to dwell between the two cherubim. Before he had yet created the world, he created the law. He established the Garden of Eden for the righteous, that they might eat and take delight in the fruit of the tree. For having during their lives cherished the instructions of the law in this world and fulfilled the precepts. For the wicked he established Gehenna, which is like a sharp two-edged sword. Within it he established sparks of fire and burning coals, with which to judge the wicked who during their lives rebelled against the instructions of the law. The law is better for him who toils in it than the fruit of the tree of life. The law, which the Memra of Yahuwah established to be kept so that people might endure and walk in the path of the way of life in the world to come. Wow, that was deep. Oh my goodness, that was deep, and hallelujah. Praise Yah, Yahuwah Yahushua HaMashiach. Shalom.